Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inshallah, today we're reciting 14 just, finishing off Surah Al-Hijr and Surah Al-Nahl. The word Surah Al-Nahl itself means honeybee. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about honeybee, how it creates honey, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has structured the whole life cycle of honeybee. This is a very long tafsir. One of the most important thing in this surah is there is one ayah which is basically an open proof of the ilm al-ghayb of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the knowledge of unseen which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. Something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed 1400 years ago, which never existed. People never had any imagination of it, and today it exists. There's an ayah, it says, وَالْخَيْلَ وَالْبِغَالَ وَالْحَمِيرَ لِتَرْكَبُوهَا وَزِينَةً وَيَخْلُقُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. That we have created al-khayla, horses, wal-bighala, mules, wal-hamira, and donkeys. لِتَرْكَبُوهَا وَزِينَةً, for the purpose so you can ride it, wazina, and when you sit on it, you feel good about it, you feel very adorned about it. It's something, it shows the presence of pride. وَيَخْلُقُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, and we will create something which you do not know about it. On that time, 1400 years ago, who knows there's going to be a time come when a person will be flying in the air, something called plane. Who knows there will be something called train. Who knows there will be something called car, motorbike, so many things. Nobody knew it. But a word, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left it at the end of وَيَخْلُقُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. 1400 years ago in front of Sahaba radiallahu anhu, I will create something مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, which you will not know. And today we see. This is one of the most open proof of Quran and the knowledge of unseen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has it. And one of the things Mufassirin mentioned in one of these ayah is a difference between the word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used, wazina, for the sake of adornment. It's very natural when a person sits in a beautiful car and he's driving it. It's a sense comes about, a youngster sitting in a sports car. It's very natural for a person, that he gets that feeling, he's happy from inside. It's such a beautiful car, driving a fancy car, luxurious car. There's nothing wrong with it. But there is a very fine line between having pride and being happy from inside. That Mufassirin mentioned that when a person has a ni'mat, then if a person gets happy on top of it, and he thinks, I wasn't worthy of it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me through His mercy, and he doesn't look down upon the people who doesn't have the ni'mat, that is called shukr. That is called being truly being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that distinguishes a person from pride and being proudful, which obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates it. And when a person, when he has a ni'mat, and he thinks, I was worthy of it. Like Qarun said, I have all this mal and all this, because he was one of the most richest people. The khazana and the treasure of Qarun was famous in the whole world. What did he say? Because the knowledge I had, because the skills I had, that's why I have this wealth. And guess what? That was a thing which got him sunk into the earth as a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when a person thinks that he is worthy of that ni'mat, whatever ni'mat he has, and he looks down upon people that person doesn't have it, too bad for him, I have it, and there's a sense of pride. That's when he gets destroyed. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to make true ni'mat, true shukr of the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings to us. Wa akhiru da'wana.